Now we can go for the second 20, starting from the 11th question. So what they say is that the acceleration due to gravity on Earth's surface is 10 ms minus 2. The acceleration due to gravity on surface of Moon is 1/6 of the acceleration due to the gravity on Earth. If the weight of a man on Earth is 600 Newton, how much is his weight in the Moon? Okay, fine. So what they say is, so we know that gravity is the amount how much the Earth attract us. So we call it the weight. So there is a person, this person's weight on Earth is 600 Newton. So the Moon is smaller than that. So Moon is smaller than that. So in case if it is 600, so we know that gravity, the acceleration is 10 ms minus 2, and here they say it is 1/6 of it. So here the gravity value is going to be 10 into 1/6 of it. So if it is 600 Newton here, what is the weight in Moon, on Moon? That is the question. So we can go that W equals m into g. So this is on Earth, this is on Earth, this is on Earth. So the same case, if you go for the weight on Moon, m into g Moon, right? So this is the Moon, this is the Moon. So we know the value W here it is how much? 600 equal m is unknown and g is 10. So from this, first calculate the mass of the person. So when you calculate the mass of the person, mass will never change even if you go for any planet. So mass is the amount of matter, that mass is not going to change. So here let's say that m into 10 600, so m going to be equal for 60. So they have said that Gm is 1/6 g, 1/6 into g, that means 1/6 into 10. So now we can come to this equation. Wm is the question, weight on Moon is the question, m is 60 and then 1/6 into 10. So the answer is going to be 100 Newton. 100 Newton, the second answer will be right. The next question they ask you, so this part question is repeated. This part question is repeated, that comes from the chemical base of life, the grade 10 first unit. So there are 3 different charts, okay. So it's repeatedly come and they ask you the deficiency of which of following vitamin causes anemia. Anemia deficiency is from vitamin B. So if you look after the other vitamins, if you look after the vitamin A is responsible for night blindness. If A is less, night blindness can't happen, and peacock patches around the eye, dryness in the skin, blister knees and elbow, diseases with respiratory tract. So vitamin B for beriberi anemia. So vitamin B for beriberi anemia, dryness in skin and change in complexion, reduction in antibody production. So vitamin C, weakness of gum, internal bleeding, delays recovered, disease scurvy. So vitamin C also more important. So vitamin D is basically rickets is the disease caused by vitamin D, and vitamin E it's the malfunction is premature birth, also increase the rate of breaking down of red blood cells, or weakness in cell division, weakness of cell reproduction. So vitamin K is responsible for delays in blood clotting. So these are the common vitamins and their functions. So or the disorders what could happen if it is less. So just get to know them. So here they have asked you the question. Deficiency following cause anemia for vitamin B. So the next question they ask you from the reproduction part. So they ask you where exactly the fertilization happen. So we have studied the female reproductive system. So the uterus, and here the fallopian tube, here the ovum is going to be, right, fine. So here is how it's going to be. So we know that, so the vagina, whenever the sperms get in, the meantime, if the ovum come out, so exactly at the 1/3 upper part of fallopian tube, the fertilization happen. Upper part of fallopian tube, the fertilization happen. Okay, so this is the exact place where it happened, in the fallopian tube. So that question is a theory question, related question. So even if you look after this video, you can observe. Okay, this is just an imaginary video which shows where it exactly happened. So there will be millions of sperms released to the vagina, and the sperms swim and due to a chemical attraction, it swim toward the ovum and find the ovum at the end, and there it fertilizes. So the fertilization happen at the upper portion, upper part of fallopian tube. So the answer is third one. So next question is a calculation. What is the mass of glucose required? What is the mass of glucose required? What is the mass of glucose required to make 500 centimeter cube of a glucose solution of concentration 1 mole decimeter minus 3. Okay, so here see, it's a calculation question. So as I said, there will be a mixture question which is related to quantification of elements. That's this question basically. So if you look after it, 1 mole decimeter minus 3 is the concentration, and you require to prepare just half of it, 500 centimeter cube. You require to make 500 centimeter cube. So we know that 1 mole will be in 1 decimeter cube. So it means it's 1000 centimeter cube. So in 500 centimeter cube, how much is going to be? 0.5 mole. So you need to calculate what is the mass of 0.5 mole of glucose. So glucose means C6H12O6, carbon is 12 into 6, hydrogen is 1 into 12 and 6 into 16. So it's going to be 180 gram per mole. That means if you take 180 gram, there will be 1 mole. So they have asked you for half mole. So we know that mole is equal to mass over molar mass. Okay, mole is 0.5, mass is the question, and the molar mass is 180 gram per mole. So here is going to be, the mass is going to be 90 gram. So you require 90 gram to make 500 centimeter cube of 1 mole decimeter minus 3 glucose solution. So the question answer is going to be 90, or the second one, right? So if you go to the 15th question, they have given you a VT graph. So VT graph is more important in your O level. It takes a major idea on O level. So please make sure that you never by heart these questions, right? So physics and chemistry, don't try to by heart the methodology, right? If you by heart it will be very difficult for you all, right? In my experience, it's hard for you all if you by heart it. So there's a very simple idea. So the graph it shows like this. They have given you some statement. So as I said, when they give you a statement, you should make it wrong. If you make it wrong, that will be easy for you all to go for the answers. So if you make the question, the statement wrong, so if they ask you the correct answer, try to make it wrong. If you are unable to make it wrong, that's the correct answer, right? So the statement, they give you a very clear idea, 10, 20, 25, I'll just sketch it, 10, 20 and 25, and 10 meter second minus 1 is the velocity what it reaches. So here it is velocity and here it is time. So if you look after it here, it's happening in this way. Okay, and the way how it is happening, right? So we know that we know a statement, we know a very clear statement that the gradient of VT graph gives you what? The acceleration. So just get those points. Those are the key points. Those are the key points in physics, right? Also covered area gives you what? Covered area of VT gives you the displacement. So these are the key points what you have. Now we are going to answer the statements, right? So the first statement they say the retardation means what? The deceleration. Retardation of the object is 2 ms minus 2 meter per second per second. So this is the place where retardation happen, where deceleration happen. Now if you calculate the gradient of this portion, you can check whether it is correct or wrong. So here if you take 2 points, I take 2 points to find the gradient. That's 25 0 and 20 10. So if I subtract one from to get the delta y and delta x value, minus 10 5, this is delta y value and this is delta x value. So if you divide 1 by 1, minus 10 divided by 5 is going to be minus 2 ms minus 2. So this is the acceleration. This is the acceleration. So the deceleration is going to be 2 ms minus 2. The first statement is correct. So the second one, the displacement of the object is 0. No. What? The VT graph, covered area of a VT graph gives you what? The displacement. So if you calculate the covered area, if you calculate this entire covered area, it's a trapezium. So we know the equation for area of trapezium, half into sum of parallel side. So sum of parallel side here is 25 and 20. So 25 and 10. This portion is 10. So here is given 25 plus 10 and the perpendicular height here it was 10. So it's going to be 10 meter per second. So if you calculate the area, half into 5, 35 into 5, 175 meter. So this much of displacement have been. So we can't say the displacement is 0, right? And the third question, the acceleration of object is 10 ms minus 2. So the acceleration take place here. So acceleration is given by the gradient. So now calculate the gradient of these 2 points. Take 2 coordinates. I take 2 coordinates, the 0 0 coordinate and then 10 10 coordinate, 10 10 0 0. I need to find the gradient. Okay, so if I subtract one from another, it's going to be 10 and 10. So if I go for this delta y and delta x value, so m equals delta y over delta x, that's equal to 10 divided by 10, 1 ms minus 2, 1 meter per second per second. So even that goes wrong. The fourth one goes wrong. So the correct statement is the first one. So the 15th question, first one is the answer. Fine. In which part of alimentary canal the enzyme lipase added to the food? Right. So we have studied the digestive tract and their functions, right? And what are the chemical digestion happening? What are the mechanical digestion happening? Who involved in mechanical digestion? Who involved in chemical digestion? Right? So we know that. So I'll just sketch you the digestive tract again. So where you can catch up it very simply, right? So the nasal cavity and the buccal cavity, teeth, tongue, right? Tongue will be, the muscle will be covered, the trachea, and here the epiglottis. Fine. So here the nasal cavity meets the buccal cavity, they two come and meet each other, right? So here the throat and this is the esophagus. Fine. So esophagus, and then what it is? The stomach. In stomach there is going to be the C, duodenum, and duodenum the small intestine, and the cecum go for the long intestine, so the large intestine. Right, fine. So the rectum and then the anus. Okay, I'm not drawing the complex intestine. I'm just coming at the point. So here the appendix will be. Fine. Here liver will be here at this point. Here the liver will be, and then the pancreas will be at this point. Fine. So pancreatic juice and the bile pigments join together into duodenum. So whenever we talk about the digestion, the first part in the buccal cavity. So what happened in buccal cavity? So there will be a mechanical digestion, chemical digestion. When we talk about saliva includes what? Thiolin. Okay, it includes thiolin. Thiolin convert cooked carbs into maltose. Also there will be something called lysozyme, which is responsible for the killing or the destruction of bacteria wall. So the digestion what take place is cooked carbs convert into maltose. So when you come here, pepsin will be induced, or sorry, secreted in stomach. So pepsin converts protein into polypeptides. Fine, it converts into polypeptide chains. Okay. So here in pancreas and bile, they introduce or secrete pancreatic juice. So pancreatic juice include trypsin, lipase or lipase, and then amylase. So it is for protein digestion, and lipase for lipid digestion, and amylase for non-cooked carbohydrates digestion, carbs digestion. So here the intestine, it secretes the intestinal juice or intestinal secretion. The intestinal secretion includes maltase, sucrase, lactase, also peptidase. So maltase convert maltose into glucose, sucrase convert sucrose into fructose and glucose, lactase convert lactose into galactose and glucose, and peptidase will convert polypeptides into amino acids, right? So here the question is, where lipase is introduced? So where lipase is introduced? At duodenum. Where it is introduced? At duodenum. So the answer is going to be first answer for the 16th one. Fine. So the 17th question, for the 17th question, they have asked you about the given below is a balanced equation related to the decomposition of potassium permanganate, where 2K-MnO4 becomes K2MnO4, MnO2 and O2. How much is the amount, right? It's basically it's going to be a question. It's a question from chemical calculation. As I said to you guys, it's a major portion, chemical calculation. If you are not thorough in it, please go and refer the previous part, right? So how much is the amount of moles of potassium permanganate that should be decomposed to produce 3 mole of oxygen, right? So the equation, if you look after the equation, that KMnO4, when it is heated up, it becomes K2MnO4 plus MnO2 and O2. So if you look after the equations balance, if you put 2 here, in the left side, there are 2 potassium, 2 manganese and oxygen there are 8. Okay, 2 into 4, 8. In the left side, there are 2 potassium, manganese 1, 2 and oxygen 2, 2, 4, altogether 8. So it is a balanced equation. So here if you look after the stoichiometry, of these 2, here it is 1, here it is 1, here it is 1. So what does it mean is, if you combust, if you react or if you heat up 2 moles of potassium manganate, if you combust 2 mole of potassium manganate, it produces you 1 mole of K2MnO4, MnO2 and 1 mole of O2. So if you heat 2 mole, 1 mole of oxygen will be produced. The question, if you require 3 moles, then here it should be how much? It should be 6 moles here, right? So if you heat up 2 mole, you get 1 mole. You require 3 moles, so you should heat up 6 moles. So the answer for that question is going to be the 4th answer, that is 6 moles, right? So next question is related to the electricity. Electricity also one of the more prominent part in your grade 10 science. There are 3 wires of equal length with uniform resistance. Illustrated below are 3 instances in which The 3 wires are connected between the point X and Y. The same circuit where the first wire connected as it and the second wire cut into equal parts. The third cut into 3 equal parts. Fine. Okay. So what they have done is we have studied resistance. We have studied resistance. Okay, so we know to calculate the resultant resistance. We know to calculate the resultant resistance. So here what they have done is there's a circuit with 6 volt battery. Okay, and it is connected to a wire between X and Y, and there's a bulb. Fine. So this is how the circuit is happening. So here they are using a different wire with resistance. Okay, so this is setup 1, and when it is setup 2, in setup 2, right, the same thing, but this wire has been split into two. 6 volt, the same thing. And the third setup, in the third setup, that wire has been split into 3. Right. So let's say that the total resistance of here, okay, equal into 3, right? So let's say that it is let's say that 3R, okay, or 3R or R is the resistance here. So now here it's going to be R by 2. Here it's going to be R by 3 and R by 3. Now I need you all to calculate the resultant resistance of all 3 circuits. So here it is R, no issue. Here 2 parallel. So it's going to be 1 over resultant R equals 1 over R by 2 plus 1 over R by 2. So if you make it the up, right, here is going to be 2 by R plus 2 by R by R. Sorry, 1 over R by R. So if you add them, how it happens? 4 by R, okay. 1 over R by R, RR is equal to 4 by R. If you take the reciprocal, RR is going to be R divided by 4. So here the resultant resistance is R by 4. So if you go to this one, if you go to this setup, right, R by 3, there are three different equations are used, right? So here what I can do is 1 over RR resultant R equals 1 over R by 3 plus 1 over R by 3 plus 1 over R by 3. Fine. So here if you calculate 1 over RR equals 3 by R plus 3 by R plus 3 by R. So 1 over RR equals 9 by R. So if you take the reciprocal, RR is equal to R by 9. Fine. So here R by 9, here R by 4, and here it is R. So if you look after it, the very less resistance can be found in the third setup. So if the resistance is less, same voltage, 666, same voltage, the current will be high in third setup. So the bulb will be brighter in third setup. So instance 3 will have the high bright bulbs. Okay, so the third one is the answer for 18th question, right? So 19th question, 19th question. Consider the following substances: a solid sodium chloride crystal, B molten sodium chloride, C aqueous sodium chloride solution. Which of the above conduct electricity? Right. To conduct electricity, what is the basic requirement? What is the basic requirement? Basic requirement, it should have movable ions. That's it. Movable ions should be there. Movable ions should be there. Now everyone understand one thing very well. Whenever the sodium chloride solid, right? Sodium chloride solid, sodium chloride liquid, sodium chloride aqueous, right? Sodium chloride solid mean they have ions but they can't move. That is the issue. The small one now consider it as sodium. The larger one now chlorine, right? So they have ions. All of them are ions, but they can't move. This crystal, they can't move. They are fixed in the position. So ions are present but not movable. So it will never conduct electricity. But when you go for sodium chloride liquid, now it has been liquid, sodium, chlorine, these ions are movable now. They can move. So this conduct electricity. Sodium chloride aqueous mean it is mixed with water. So there will be H plus ions, there will be OH minus ions, there will be Na plus ions, there will be Cl minus ions. Now it conduct electricity, no problem at all. So which of the following will conduct electricity? That B and C, the molten mean liquid, right? B and C will conduct electricity. Fine. The 20th question, this is something to think. It comes under electronics, right? Electronics question. So they have asked you when supplying electricity to an electrical equipment, it may get damaged if the source of electricity is connected to it with the terminals reversed, right? Which diagram illustrates correctly how a diode should be connected to protect the equipment, right? There is an electrical equipment. Come on, I'll explain the question. There is an electrical equipment, right? There is an electrical equipment. This electrical equipment, let's say this is plus and this is minus, mean what? The current has to move in this direction. In case if current move in opposite direction, if current move from opposite direction due to fluctuation or any other issues, if the current move in opposite direction, it will get damaged. So now we need to fix a diode where reverse current flow should be blocked, opposite current flow should be blocked. So we know that about diode. When we talk about diode will conduct electricity in one direction. A and B means it will conduct only in direction. This shows the barrier. B to A, current cannot pass. So let's say that how can I supply or fix the considered equipment, right? So the second setup says that to fix the diode in this way. So if you fix the diode in this way, when current come, it cannot go through it. So the equipment will never work because the current, it is blocking the current flow. So second circuit is wrong. If you go to the third circuit, what they have said is they have fixed it like this. In this way they have fixed. So now whenever current come here it is an electrical equipment, it has resistance. So the current will like to go through this circuit than going to the other one. That's what I say. It going through the electrical equipment like to go in the shortest way or less block way. So what will happen? No current flow throughout the circuit. Therefore, what could happen? The electrical equipment might not work. So if you go to this one, final fourth one, here the current. Now here the plus and here minus. If current come through this, here there is a block. The current can't go. So fourth one also will never make the equipment work. But if you look after the first one, first one clearly says in this way. How? It passes the current to go in. It allows the current to go in. In case if we try to come back in return, here the barrier is. It will never allow the flow. Never allow the flow. So the first one is the correct circuit which makes the requirement of the given statement. So here the answer for the 20th one is first one. Okay. So we'll discuss the 21st to 30 in the next video. So guys, please better you whenever you go, it's a series, right? It's happening first 10, second 10, and we are going to do the third 10, right? So when before going to just put your answers and come to the discussion, just watch the video, just mark the answers and watch the video instead of just coming and looking after what I talk, right? So just it will make you happy once you get I know something, you will feel that you know something, right? So just mark them and then go for the questions, right? So follow the video, and you can register below and get into the website and get the entire clarification on it. So we'll go for the next one, and hope you enjoyed.